Hello everyone and welcome back to our course. In this lecture, we are going to start our second project with Dash. This is going to be another Dash app with data visualization, and it's going to be built slightly differently from how we built our first project. It will be slightly more advanced and it's going to use different libraries. So starting off, we are going to set up the project. Here I am in Google Colab, and I'm starting with a brand new Google Colab. Okay, so I'm starting a brand new project. The first step I have to do is call pip install Jupyter Dash, and then I'm going to from Jupyter Dash import the Jupyter Dash class. As well, I'm going to be putting to use Dash core components as DCC, and I'm going to have to import Dash HTML components as HTML. So this is all we did previously in the previous lecture, our previous section, where we are installing Jupyter Dash, which is Dash specifically for Jupyter Notebooks. And as well, we're importing two modules, Dash core components and Dash HTML components. Next up, okay, after this has all been downloaded and imported, we can make a new code cell. Okay, and we are going to import a library known as Altair. This is a declarative statistical visualization library. So it's going to allow us to grab visualizations and charts. Okay, and it's based on Vega and Vega Lite. So I'm going to import Altair. As well, I'm going to also need I/O later on for building the site, so let's just import that as well. We're going to be using that module. So you're going to get a lot of experience with using different modules in this project. Next up, we have to load our data set. So let's import the Python package to the Vega datasets. From Vega datasets, I am going to import data. This data module, it's a package that allows us to have access to different data sets. And finally, from dash.dependencies, I'm going to import input and output. We saw that in the previous lecture. That's for updating a graph based on user input. For example, you could take user input on a color and you could change the colors in the graph. We're going to look at slightly different customizations from user input that we can make in this project. More on that later. Okay, so that is all we need for the imports. Okay, now that we have this data package imported, let's put it to use. So I'm going to grab data, and it actually has different functions for different data sets. For example, I'm going to use the cars dataset, which has a bunch of features of cars. So it has a lot of inputs where each input is a car, and the features of the car make up the features of the input, such as the horsepower, miles per gallon, the make, etc. Okay, then I can store this in a variable called cars. So then if I print out cars, we can see what is in there. We can verify that we have it. Look at that. I'll run this code cell and look what we have here. We have 406 rows, meaning 406 different cars. And we have 9 columns, meaning we have 9 different features about the car. Really 8 features. And then we have as well the index. Okay, so here you can see we have the name of the car, Chevrolet, Chevelle, Malibu, Ford, Mustang, GL. Then we have miles per gallon. Then we have an ellipses, these 3 dots. That just means that there are more hidden features. And as well, we have the year that the car was made, 1970, 1982, and the origin, the country where the car was made, USA, Europe, etc. So this is just a small preview of the cars dataset that we just loaded in. There are actually lots of datasets from Vega datasets, so feel free to look in the documentation for Vega datasets if you're interested in looking at other data available for you. All right, and just like that, we have loaded in our data. Next up, we can actually start building the layout of our app. So we'll start building out the layout for the Dash app. Then we will use this data to visualize what we have, to visualize the data in our Dash app. So we're going to take this data and bring it to the web in the form of a visualization. Join me in the next lecture where we will build the app layout.